Hi, I'm E.D. Lewis and welcome back to my channel, E.D. Lewis Reviews, back with another nocturnal review. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and that little bell so you'll get notifications on my latest videos, as well as please leave a comment down below, because I love to read those comments. Okay, so, let's talk a little Lovecraft, I haven't done H.P. Lovecraft for a little while, and there's another story I need to be doing too sometime soon, but we'll get to that whenever I have the time to get to it. So, I'm reviewing The Call of Cthulhu by H.P. Lovecraft. Actually, this is the edition that I most recently have read it out of, and that's the complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. This is a huge book and quite heavy. So the story of the Call of Cthulhu was published in 1920 in Weird Tales magazine, and has kind of become a bit of a staple, especially with Cthulhu mythos and Lovecraftian horror, cosmic horror, in general. It tells the story of this man named Francis Thurston, who investigates the journals and notes of his great uncle who's recently passed away, who believed that the world was in danger by this bizarre cult called the Cthulhu cult. His notes follow a series of different weird occurrences through newspaper clippings, accounts from other people, even as far back as the Bayou. As we travel through these series of notes, we see these strange cults popping up all over the world, and they seem to be chanting about this city called Relie, I think is how it's pronounced, and where Cthulhu sleeps, and it's this sunken city out somewhere in the water. That someday, when the stars are right, Cthulhu will return, and the old ones will return with him, and that'll be a great cosmic calamity right there. And as the narrator investigates the story, he starts to believe it as well, because he's very skeptical of it. And the story is just kind of a difficult one to talk about without me writing a synopsis, and I didn't want to write one for this. But because there's a bit with there's this statue that's discovered and it's investigated, and there's these dang, I'm having a hard time thinking right now. There's this account from this inspector in the Bayou who arrests one of the cult members, discovers the cult members and what they're doing, and they several of them are killed, and they end up capturing one, and they interview him and stuff, and that's after a series of mysterious disappearances of people in the Bayou. And it leads them ultimately, the main character anyway, it leads him ultimately to an account from a sailor that has a very frightening experience on this mysterious city that rises up out of the water. And I can't really tell you too much more without giving it away. Like a lot of H.P. Lovecraft stories, it kind of just, you don't see a lot, and it's focused more on fear. This one has a lot of telling of events surrounding it, and by the end, the main character, this is not much of a spoiler, he has already started to believe this, and he believes now he's in danger just from knowing this information. So, it is, like I said, it's a staple story for, if you're going to read H.P. Lovecraft, and it is a very good one. It is kind of frightening and stuff. There is some cringy moments because H.P. Lovecraft, he suffered from xenophobia, and as he got later on in his years, he did get much better about it, and he was much more willing to travel and stuff. He was very afraid to even leave Providence, Rhode Island, but he slowly came around, and it wasn't so bad. And if you can get past those xenophobic and kind of racist-y comments, because on this go around, I'm like, I started cringing. It was a little harder for me to read than it was the first time me reading it, because I think I was more aware on this go around of how, like, ooh, and I had to keep telling myself context, different time period, and of course the way H.P. Lovecraft was at the time of writing this versus later on in his life when he wasn't so. But it is still a frightening story once you get past that. It's just the idea of even that being in there is frightening within itself. But stripping that away, uh, it's still kind of it's freaky and kind of it's just kind of spooky and kind of gives you a little bit of chills. So it's definitely a chilling story and definitely worth checking out. There aren't really any adaptations that I really know of. There's this one, which is from 2005. It's from the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, made a movie. They actually did 2 motion pictures. One of them was on The Call of Cthulhu, and the other one is on The Whisper in the Dark. I'm not going to look it up. I think it's called The Whisper in Darkness. That's what it is. And they're done in particular styles. This movie was done in the style of the silent films of the time period, and the story's been considered to be unfilmable. Well, they found a way of filming it. Pretty much they keep really faithful to the source material. They don't deviate much from it. They do shorten it down and stuff, and because the movie's less than an hour, but they do a great job, and the acting is, you know, very well done, and it's done as a silent movie. There is music, there are no sound effects, no dialogue, there's intertitles you have to read, but it's very well made. And then the other one they did, Whisper in Darkness, that one was done in the style of the 1930s films like Frankenstein and stuff, and they're both filmed in black and white. But if you're looking for a good adaptation, I would highly suggest the Call of Cthulhu motion picture that's done by the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society. And it's in Mythoscope. Instead of Cinescope, it's Mythoscope. So, anyway, I would check that out. It's a very good adaptation. And their other one is a good one, too. And I haven't read that story, though, but the film is excellent. That's what I got for you so far, and I hope everybody's enjoying March so far, as we're getting close to spring now, and I will see you soon with a brand new video. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.